Today we read from Judges chapter 15, verses 18 through 20. It reads, Samson was now very thirsty, and he cried out to the Lord, You have accomplished this great victory by the strength of your servant. Must I now die and fall into the hands of these pagans? So God caused water to gush out of a hollow in the ground at Lehi, and Samson was revived as he drank. Then he named that place the spring of the one who cried out, and it is still in Lehi to this day. Samson judged Israel for 20 years during the period when the Philistines dominated the land. Have you ever played so hard that you physically had nothing left in the tank? Sometimes you collapse on the bench press of your life, weakened, worn out, completely exhausted. But even if you already maxed out, there's no guarantee more stress isn't still coming. Do you ever feel like that? Like the constant weight of responsibility is always there? That you always have to be there for your family and your friends. Believe me, I know how that feels. I really do. You don't want to let anybody down. Month after month, there are always going to be more bills that need to get paid. You want to be a good provider. You want to make your parents proud. You want to be strong for everybody. Do you ever feel like you're the glue holding everyone else's lives together? Then is it really any wonder? Then is it really any wonder that you're so exhausted? Of course, if you're like most guys, you never ask for help. You just keep adding more and more and more weight to that bar again and again. You keep lifting it up too, but you're sore. And it hurts, but you don't tell anybody. Sometimes you even wonder why you're carrying all this weight for all these other people. It's easy to start slipping into a negative mindset. You ever feel alone, depressed, defeated? We see all of these things in the desperation in Samson's voice in the verse I just read. He took pride in being self-sufficient and never needing anyone's help. He didn't want to reveal his weakness to others, which made it hard for him to admit to himself that he actually really needed God. Many of us slip into that same mode when we start feeling overwhelmed. We may not say it out loud, but what our actions are communicating to others is, I'm not letting you in. I won't share what's going on with me. Besides, even if I tried, you wouldn't understand. That's why we refuse to ask for directions. We don't want to have to tell anyone we need help. I'm convinced the reason we do this is that most of us want to be the hero, the main character, the center of the story that we're telling about ourselves. We want to make everything about us instead of about God. But here's the truth that you can grab hold of today. If you'll let your need drive you to God, God will meet you, He will meet you, and He will meet your deepest needs. His Spirit will always lead us to confession, to changing direction, to realigning with His Word, to a fresh start, to grace. Admit it. You need Him. Tell Him so. You may be surprised how He responds.